A few weeks ago, Samsung announced the Samsung Galaxy S23, S23 Plus, and S23 Ultra. Well, 2.5 years ago, I said this about the latest Note phone. And so in today's video, I'm calling for an official boycott of the Samsung Galaxy Ultra line of phones, and I have a few reasons why. Now, times have certainly changed since then, but I think I may have been right about the phones getting too big and really wanting to have a better phone in a smaller device. So over the last few years, I've been trying a few things different. I use the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and that phone is pretty good, except for the camera had some weird bug, probably the worst camera I had on any Samsung phone. After that, I got the Samsung Z Fold 2. And then after that, I went to the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and that phone was actually pretty great. It was nice to be able to use an S Pen, even though it wasn't embedded in the phone, but the cameras certainly were improved from the previous generation, and I've never been able to take such awesome photos of the moon. So after that phone, I thought, oh, it's definitely time to try something new. So I ended up going with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3. And I loved that phone. I loved that I now had the S Pen on the bigger screen and everything worked great. But the one thing that phone didn't have was a great camera. It took good pictures, but it wasn't as good as what the Galaxy S21 Ultra was being able to provide. So I used that phone for a while, and actually the Galaxy S22 Ultra came out with the S Pen embedded in it, but something happened and I have never opened the box to this device because I fell in love with the Z Fold 3. I loved the foldable phone and everything about it. So when the Galaxy Z Fold 4 came out, I decided to upgrade to that because it had some improvements in the camera. And one of the other big things I was excited about is the front screen. Even though it isn't a big change, they made it slightly wider so that you had a little bit larger of a front screen here. And this has been my main phone that I've been using since the release of the Galaxy Z Fold 4. And I am so happy with this device. There are so many things that I love about a foldable phone, and it's just a lot more fun than having the standard candy bar phone that I've been using for more than 10 years. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite things about using the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and if I'm going to upgrade to a Galaxy S23 Ultra. Let's get started. All right, first up, let's talk about the size of the device. So here is the Galaxy Z Fold 3, Z Fold 4, and the Pixel 7 Pro, thanks to Google for providing me with this device. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is we have the smallest to the largest phone here. Now, one thing that makes or break the phone is also the case. So I like to keep my phones protected, and if you have a bulky case, it can make your phone seem just ginormous. Now, it adds a lot of protection, but it also makes the phone feel a little outdated or certain things like that. So if you can find a nice slim case that does well protecting the phone, that can do a great job in making the phone feel sleek and protecting it, which is nice. So this, I'm using the Samsung Emerald case, I think, and it made the phone feel so slim because with the Z Folds, you have two phones that you're holding. So you have this side of the phone and this side all in one, but it makes it feel just as small as a phone you may be using now. So that was the first thing, but this phone was so slim and many of the apps didn't actually function right on this main screen because it was so slim. But a lot of that changed with the Z Fold 4. So here you can see that I have a normal looking phone. We can go in here and see all of my different apps. Everything displays correctly. If we go into YouTube here, you can see that everything is working up there at the top and so on. So the phone is a little bit wider and it makes a huge difference. Now, I would love to see an even wider phone, but I think maybe that would go into the realms of it being a little too big. So here in the hand, this phone, very easy to hold, easy to use the entire screen with one hand, which was really nice on the outside. And here on the Z Fold 4, having that front screen that's a little wider, everything displays better, and it is very easy to use all with one hand. I can quickly get to the navigation, and so if I'm doing anything where I need to quickly get to information, I can do that all with the one hand. Now, if we move to a phone like the size of the Pixel 7 Pro, here you can see that it's just massive. So the Galaxy S23 Plus, Pixel 7 Pro, though, or even the Galaxy S23 Ultra are about this size, where they're just kind of a little extra. Now, one thing I will say, when you're using a Fold and you go back to this phone, it's like, whoa, it's so cool having all of that screen right there. I don't have to open the phone or anything. But when I hold the phone, it's just huge. Like, it hurts my hand to reach across the screen. Maybe you're not using the hand one-handed ever, but it's a lot of phone right there all in one to be able to get up here and use. Like, it actually is a stretch, and it hurts my hand after using it for a while. And then if you use like the pinky to hold it and you're trying to reach up and do something, it's a little awkward to hold. And that's one of the first things that I love about this Fold. Having it be a little bit slimmer device, so there you can see it saves a bunch over on this side, and here I'm lining it up there on the bottom and on the top. So it's saving all of that space that I can now hold the phone easily with one hand. So I love being able to have that smaller size phone. Even though it's bigger, it still feels smaller than having a bigger candy bar shaped phone. So I think that's a win, having a little bit of a smaller form factor. It just doesn't feel so massive, and it's much easier to use. Now, the second thing is the fingerprint scanner. So on the new Samsung phones, as well as the Pixel 7 Pro here, if I want to unlock the phone, you can use Face, you can use your pattern or pin, or you can use your fingerprint. So I can press my fingerprint on the screen, and that works pretty well, but I do have to reach down and do that whenever I want to use the phone. So if I pick the phone out of my pocket, I have to press it down on there. Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 tries. With the Z Fold 4, the fingerprint is still on the power button, so I can easily just press right there and unlock the phone without having to reach all the way to the middle of the screen constantly. And when I'm pulling out the phone out of my pocket, I'm already touching the button, so I can easily unlock it like that. I really like having that tactile fingerprint scanner. It is just so nice to have. So I think that covers the main things about the exterior of the device. It's great. So now let's go ahead and open the Fold, and you can see some of the benefits here. So when I open up the foldable phone, you can instantly see that I now have a bigger phone than the Pixel 7 Pro. So this is just by opening the device, something I already was carrying around with me. Now I have this much bigger display. Now my only real complaint about this bigger screen is it gets a little bit more dirty, or it's easier to see the dirt, so I'm cleaning it quite often. So let's go ahead and play a video here. I just received the update for the beta preview of the new 2022. So there you can see that I have a much bigger screen here on the outside than the Pixel 7 Pro. So that's really nice. And then just for reference, if you wanted to see the outside screen, it is smaller. If I tilt it this way, it does get a little bigger. And then if I tilt this one, the Pixel YouTube bug plagues again. So here, if I pinch to zoom, you can see the screen is much bigger, but the Z Fold is definitely viewable. Okay, so now let's go ahead and open the Z Fold. And here on the Z Fold, we get the option to view other videos as well as comments on the side here if we want to. So then if we go full screen, you can clearly see that I have a much bigger screen right here. So I love being able to open up a video and I get this giant screen. If I wanted to pinch and zoom, I can even get a larger screen, so I have all of that space that I can use on the phone, which is really, really nice, being able to use the full phone. Now with the Z Fold, I can do this cool thing where I tilt the phone a little bit, and then it goes into this dual view. So I can watch the video up here, and I can keep browsing for other things to watch down here at the bottom. So if I want to go back to full screen, open that up and go back to full screen. So I love being able to have all that real estate for YouTube, and then still I can browse this way and watch different videos down here. So that's one of the biggest benefits there of having that bigger screen. Now let's say I'm wanting to use 2 different apps at one time. So on the Z Fold 4, down here you now have this tray or taskbar. So if you don't see it, you can simply hold down and it will go away. And then if you want to bring it back, you can hold down just down in this bottom area, it will come back. So this is going to show the favorite apps that you have on the home screen. So here on the home screen, we have these favorite apps. And if we go back into our app, you can see those are the same. Now over here, it's going to show your 2 recent apps that you were using. And let's say I want to open up another app amongst this one. So I'm going to hold and drag it down from the bottom. So there you can see it formatted YouTube to still display. And then here I can see Smart Things down at the bottom. Now I can use my favorites here, or I can go and choose any app. Now I do wish that this big screen was just smaller so it didn't obstruct the entire screen just to find an app. But let's say I find an app that I want to use, and then is what I'm going to do is simply grab it and drag it down here. Now you can see that I can place it in any quadrant of the phone. I can place it in half the phone screen or any quadrant down here. So is what that is going to do is it's then going to only open up in that area. So it's really cool that all of the apps can automatically format depending on where I want to put them. So now you can see I have 3 apps here that I'm using constantly. Now you only can do 3 at a time. So here you can see if I try and do a 4th, it does not do that. So if there's certain apps that you like to have open all the time in this view, you can save this. So all I have to do is push this 3-dot menu in the middle, and I can star it, and I can save it to my taskbar. And then down here, it created a new shortcut for that. So let's go ahead, close all my apps. I want to go into my favorite view, and I can simply press the button there. All 3 of those open just like I was doing. Now that is possible to do on other phones, but mostly it's 2 apps. So I go to one app, I tap this here, I go to split to top, and then I can choose another app. So let's say I want to open, Instagram doesn't work here. So I would need to open one app, split top, YouTube. So now I can do the 2 apps at once, but I don't think there's a way to favorite those on the Pixel. Other Samsungs you can, but I still love how this works and how it saves it in the favorites. So one thing that I'm using all the time is my kid wants to watch a video. So we're gonna open up YouTube Kids, but then I want to read my email or whatever it is. So I can pull this up and I can then drag the app that I wanna use over here. And so here you can see my app. So I have both of these. He's watching his video up here. I'm browsing the web down here, but you can see the screens are very small. So if I just orient my phone this way, you can now see that we both have about a 16:9 ratio screen. So I can easily browse this and he is able to watch his video up here with no problem. So if I hit menu, star, I can then add that to the taskbar. So I think you can only have 2 favorites here. Maybe you can add a couple more. But now anytime he wants to watch a show and I want to browse the web, click on there and it goes right back to where we were. So it's so nice that I can kind of multitask for real on one device instead of having to have 2 devices, but I can be doing 2 things at once right here on one screen with a full view, which is really nice to have. Now, one other benefit you get with the Z Fold 4 is you can use the S Pen here on the screen. So I can use it on these, or let's say I want to be drawing something. So here I can open up a supported app, and having the S Pen is just so nice. So here I'm in the process of planning out my full studio here, so I can easily draw on this, and it's really nice to have the pen. It would be nice if it could be embedded, but I think with the size and thinness of the phone, it will not be possible to embed it. No, I'm just really happy that this is still an option on the Z Fold phones instead of having to get the Ultra. I think it's great that it has been incorporated into here. And so I can still use all of those features that I'm used to on the different Galaxy Note devices. So that is one of the cool things about the S Pen. It would be cool if you could use it on the outside screen, but you can still only use it on the inside screen here. Now, a few other things that you can do that are really cool is when you are in the camera. So if I'm taking a picture, let's see, I can just double tap the power button. And if I'm taking a photo and I want to take a photo with the nice camera on the outside, I can click this button right here, and then that previews it. So you can see what I'm taking a photo of. So if I wanted to take a photo of myself, I can simply hold it this way. There you can see me in screen, and I can press the volume button to snap a photo. So just like that, snap a photo. Or I can use this side. But I love having that there so you can see it on the other screen. And then I can also do this where I can preview my photos. So there I can see the photos I just took. So I take a photo, it shows up here. I can make sure it looks good before I take the next photo. So it's really cool that you have that. You can also, when you're in the camera, you can simply tilt your phone and I can still take a photo this way. So I can take a photo of you guys and just have it have its own tripod without needing another device to hold it up or another mechanism to place this somewhere. So I like sitting it down. I can then take a photo with a timer or even with the hand gesture. So it's really cool that I have those features in the foldable phone as well. And then when I'm done using the big screen, I can simply close it like this and it fits in my pocket. It's just like having a big tablet in the pocket. So it's really, really fun to have. So the big question is, will I be upgrading to the Galaxy S23 Ultra? That camera, what is it, 200, 100 times zoom, does look pretty cool. So I'm thinking about it still, but overall, I think having the Z Fold 4 with a little bit better cameras has been a huge improvement. So hopefully this fall with the Z Fold 5, we'll see some even bigger improvements with possibly a thinner device and being able to have a little bit better camera and everything. Now, one thing I didn't show is on the front screen here, you can't even see that, but right there under the screen, that is a camera. They've actually done an under camera display and it works pretty good. So while I'm using the phone, I can't even tell there, but if I open up the camera, that camera is now displaying this. So you can tell that it is a little bit more grainy than normal. And if you're doing a video chat with this, it's not quite as good, but I barely use this camera on the inside of the screen. So I love that it has that screen over the camera. I think it was a great place to test and it worked really well. Now, no matter what phone you decide to get, they all definitely are going to cost a little bit of money. Now, I have been using a service for many years called Rakuten. You may have heard of it, you may have not, but it's a great way in which you can get real cash back from your purchases on certain websites. So I like to use it on Samsung.com because sometimes they do promos where you can get up to 15% cash back, or typically it's around 5 to 10% cash back. And this is actual money that comes to you in a check. So I think I've received more than $1,000 cash back on this service. Now, this isn't sponsored or anything. This is just a service that I love to use, and I'll leave a referral link down in the description below. So if you sign up, it does give me a little kickback. So let me tell you more about how this service works. So once you sign up for the service, you're then going to add the extension to your browser. Once you sign up, you should see a pop-up to add the extension to Chrome. If you don't, you can search for the extension and add Rakuten to your web browser. Now, once I've finished here in Chrome, I'm going to click on the little puzzle at the very top right. And then down here, I have Rakuten and I'm going to pin it. That way it always is right there so I can see if it is activated or not. Then you're going to go to a supported website to shop. So here at Samsung.com, when I go there, it's going to pop up the extension saying, hey, you can save right now 15% cash back at Samsung.com. So you do need to press this button to activate it before you check out for your shopping. So whenever you go to a website, make sure you click that definitely before you check out. So once you click that, you can then go through and order your new Samsung Galaxy device. So here at the S23, maybe I'm going to choose the unlocked version, and then I'm going to choose the 512 gig. Oh, look, they're giving it to me for free. I'm going to add a year of insurance. I'm going to do a trade-in, and then whatever the full cost is going to be, that price, I'm going to get the 15% back on that product. So once I do my checkout, Rakuten is then going to receive that I did a purchase, and then it's going to start that cashback process. Now, sometimes it does take a couple months for you to get that cash back, but I can definitely say that you will get that cash back and it will be money back to you that you can use for something else. So just make sure you're using this wherever you shop online. It doesn't change your order or add promo codes or anything like that. It just gives you cash back based on your final purchase on those certain websites. So hopefully that helps you in making your decision of your next Galaxy purchase. And so I've absolutely loved the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. I love the new form factor. I've just had a Note phone for many, many years, so I thought, oh, it's time to go with something a little bit different. Now, I think I might try out the Pixel 7 Pro for a few months before the next Fold comes out, or maybe something else. So if you have any further questions about the Z Fold 4, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.